Stand up for a moment if you're able to. Go ahead. I'll wait right here for you patiently. Did you notice how your legs responded so naturally and smoothly to that simple action? How your balance adjusted just a tiny bit in that brief instant? And even how your heart rate shifted ever so slightly to manage this very basic movement without any trouble at all? It's truly amazing, isn't it, when you take a moment to think about it? This really highlights the incredible way our bodies are designed to handle everyday activities with such remarkable precision and accuracy every single moment of the day. Most people move through their daily lives without ever stopping to consider how the regular foods they consume, day after day after day, can quietly influence their blood pressure levels in small but significant ways that accumulate over time. Surprisingly, one of the biggest hidden causes of high blood pressure is probably already sitting in your kitchen cabinet or perhaps in your refrigerator right now, something that you likely eat on a regular basis without giving it much thought at all, even though it's right there in plain sight for everyone to see. I'm a doctor, and for more than 20 years now, I've had the honor of working with thousands of adults, particularly those who are over the age of 60 and facing these challenges head-on every day. These folks often felt really frustrated by their ongoing and hard-to-control blood pressure numbers that just wouldn't budge no matter what they tried. They were people who were already putting in a lot of good effort in their lives. They walked on a regular basis to stay active and fit. They took their prescribed medications exactly as told by their doctors without fail, and they stayed away from the obvious unhealthy junk foods that everyone talks about as the usual suspects. Yet, even with all of these good efforts and strong commitments in place, their blood pressure readings kept going higher and higher, which made them feel quite down and helpless at times, wondering what more they could possibly do to turn things around. High blood pressure doesn't usually appear all of a sudden or come from out of nowhere like some sudden storm that hits without warning. Instead, it grows slowly and steadily over time, building up in the background without much fanfare. It's driven by those small, everyday foods that find their way into your daily routine almost without you noticing them at all. These foods look totally harmless when you're eating them. They don't cause any big or immediate symptoms that would warn you right away or give you a clear signal to stop. But over weeks, months, and even years, they keep pushing your blood pressure numbers up in a slow and gradual way that can seem almost unnoticed until it's too late and the effects become more apparent and harder to ignore. Over the next 23 minutes or so, I'm going to guide you step by step through my 5-step FRESH protocol in a clear and straightforward manner that anyone can follow. This method is simple, practical, and has been put together to help you regain control over your blood pressure in a real way that fits seamlessly into your life and daily habits. The approach is backed by strong scientific evidence from trusted places, such as research done by the American Heart Association, studies from Harvard Medical School, and many other reviewed studies that have appeared in some of the top medical journals in the world over the years. These sources give a solid base for everything we'll cover here today, providing reliable insights you can trust completely. To make this talk feel more personal and right for your own situation, I'd really like it if you could share your age in the comments section below right now. Your age makes a big difference in how your body responds to these common everyday foods that we all come across on a regular basis in our routines. It helps make the advice even more suited to where you are in your life right now, tailoring it perfectly to your needs. By the time we finish this conversation together, you'll have a much better idea of which hidden foods might be adding to your high blood pressure right now in subtle but powerful ways. You'll also find out why these particular foods often have a bigger effect on adults over the age of 60, especially as the body changes naturally with time, and, most importantly, you'll get some practical and easy steps that you can start using right away without any hassle or major disruption. These steps will help you lessen their effect without making you give up the foods that you really like and enjoy in your daily life, so you can still feel satisfied and happy with your meals every single day. Let's begin with one of the most common hidden problems, sodium, which plays a bigger role than many people realize in these situations. Let's think about sodium and how it causes water retention in a very straightforward and easy-to-follow way that makes perfect sense for everyone. Imagine a garden hose for a second, just like the one you might use in your yard on a sunny afternoon. Think of your arteries as those bendy tubes, flexible and strong, and your blood moving through them, just like water flows through the hose under steady pressure. When you get too much salt from what you eat on a regular basis, your body naturally keeps extra water to try to thin out that higher sodium level and maintain balance inside. This extra water then raises the pressure inside those arterial tubes, creating more force against the walls over time. Over time, this extra pressure starts to harm the delicate inner walls of your arteries, making them stiffer and much less bendy than they should be in a healthy body that functions optimally every day. Also, sodium tells your kidneys to hold on to even more water, which then boosts your overall blood volume and adds more strain to your whole heart and blood vessel system, working them harder than necessary in the long run. Harvard researchers did a detailed study where they watched 1,200 adults for a full 5 years, tracking their habits closely throughout the period. The results were very telling and eye-opening for all involved. Those who ate more than 2,300 milligars of sodium each day had a 38% higher chance of getting high blood pressure compared to people who kept their daily intake under 1,500 millimolars as recommended by the experts. This kind of information really shows why it's so important to pay close attention to what you're consuming every single day, because the choices add up in ways we often don't see immediately, but feel the impact later on. Many people tell themselves things like, "I don't put that much salt on my food. I only add a little bit here and there on my meals when it needs it for taste." But the real truth is that sodium is hidden in so many surprising spots throughout our food supply. In processed meats like deli meats and bacon that we grab for quick lunches on busy days, in canned soups that seem convenient for a fast meal, in ready-made sauces for pasta or stir-fries that we use often, in different condiments we use daily without much thought, and even in regular salad dressings that we drizzle on our greens for flavor. A single serving of any one of these might not look like a lot by itself and could seem innocent enough at first glance. But when you add them all up over the course of a whole day and then think about that for the full week ahead, the total builds up way more than most people would ever expect or even know about, leading to cumulative effects that build steadily. If you've ever had noticeable swelling in your ankles or seen unexpected jumps in your home blood pressure checks after a meal, then sodium is almost definitely a big part of what's happening in your body right now. If this sounds very familiar from your own experiences and daily routines, I suggest you type the word sodium right in the comments section below to acknowledge it. It helps create a feeling of community and shared experiences among all of us dealing with the same issues every day, knowing we're not alone in this journey together. It's worth noting, however, that not all foods that raise blood pressure are full of salt, even though sodium gets a lot of the attention in these discussions. There's another important group that needs your focus right away: refined carbohydrates, which can sneak up on you when you least expect it. This covers things like white bread, pastries, cakes, cookies, and sugary sodas that many of us reach for without a second thought during our routines. These things work like quick sugar hits as soon as they reach your digestive system, breaking down rapidly into energy. They cause a fast and strong rise in your blood sugar levels, which then leads to a big release of insulin from your pancreas to manage it effectively. If this pattern keeps happening over a long time, those constantly high insulin levels can cause your arteries to harden and also encourage the body to hold on to more fluid in the system. Both of these actions help raise your blood pressure over time in noticeable ways that build gradually and persistently. In a study from Johns Hopkins University, researchers tracked 850 adults over a whole decade, following their diets carefully and noting every detail. They found something really interesting and significant. The people who ate the most refined carbohydrates had 52% more stiffness in their arteries compared to those who mostly chose whole grains in their meals for better balance and health. This shows the lasting effects that build up without much notice at all, affecting long-term health in profound ways. As we get older, the endothelium, which is the thin inner layer of our arteries, slowly loses a lot of its natural stretchiness over the years in a gradual process. You can picture it as an old rubber band that has been pulled and left out in the weather for many years, turning hard and much less flexible as a result, losing its original bounce and elasticity. Once the flexibility in your arteries starts to drop noticeably, even small increases in blood volume or brief moments of sugar-related stress can lead to clear rises in blood pressure that feel stronger than before and more impactful on your system. For adults who are over 60, the function of the endothelium often drops by about 30 to 40% when compared to younger adults in their prime years of life. When you combine that natural change from age with extra sodium or too many refined carbs and sugars in the mix, your blood vessels struggle more to handle the needs of daily life and the pressures we all deal with on a regular basis, making everything feel a bit more challenging than it used to be. There are also some other things that people often miss, but that can add to the issue in a building way, contributing steadily to the overall picture. These include store-bought salad dressings that are loaded with extras and hidden ingredients, pickled items we enjoy as sides for our meals, many frozen ready meals for convenience during hectic days, and some kinds of cheese that we snack on without much consideration. These foods usually mix high amounts of sodium, added sugars, and unhealthy fats all together in one easy package that seems appealing and tasty. On their own, each one might not seem like a worry at first or raise any red flags in your mind, but as they add up from day to day in our routines, it's similar to having small stones in your shoes that you barely notice at the beginning. At the start, you barely feel them, but soon enough, every step begins to feel more tiring and hard as the buildup grows over time, wearing you down little by little. A team of researchers at UCLA studied 600 older adults and found that those who ate 2 to 3 servings of processed foods every day had systolic blood pressure levels that were, on average, 25% higher than the group that mainly ate fresh, lightly processed meals with care and attention. This kind of result really points out the unseen strength of these choices in our daily routines, highlighting how they influence us quietly but powerfully over the years. The key lesson from all of this is that your body isn't just failing you without any cause or reason behind it at all. Instead, it's these small, repeated daily habits that are slowly raising the pressure over a long time in ways that are simple to overlook if you're not paying attention to the details carefully. The very best starting point you can take is to just become more mindful of these effects right now, in this very moment. So, take a second right here to stop and consider it thoughtfully. How many of these kinds of foods appear often in your daily eating without you even knowing it or realizing the impact they might have? Go ahead and share your true guess in the comments below so we can all gain from one another and feel more connected as we learn together, supporting each other along the way in this shared experience. Let me tell you about a couple of true stories to make this more real and helpful for everyone listening, drawing from real experiences I've seen in my practice. First, there's Mary, who is 68 years old and full of life and energy. She truly thought that she was eating healthy overall, making good choices each day. She made sure to walk every day for her exercise to stay in shape. She fully avoided alcohol to stay clear and focused, and she steered clear of obvious junk food as much as she could in her efforts to improve. But her blood pressure stayed around 145/90 on most days, which was upsetting for her and hurt her confidence in her efforts, leaving her feeling stuck and unsure. When we looked closely at her usual daily meals during our talks, we noticed some small but key patterns that had gone unseen for a long time, hiding in plain view right there. She was putting 2 tablespoons of creamy salad dressing on her lunch salad every single time, without fail. She ate a frozen, ready meal about 3 times a week for ease and convenience, and she had a small amount of pickles almost every day as a side dish to add flavor to her plate. By themselves, none of these looked like a major problem back then or seemed concerning at the time. But when put together over weeks, they were slowly but surely raising her blood pressure numbers in a steady manner that added up significantly over time. Then there was James, a 72-year-old man who loved his sandwiches as his main meal for lunch every day. He was very careful about taking his medications just as prescribed and keeping up with his walking without missing a day, staying dedicated to his routine. Even with that strong effort and commitment, his readings were heading toward 150/88, which worried him a lot and kept him up at night with concern about the future. The hidden issues in his situation were daily fruit juice that he saw as a healthy pick for vitamins and energy, packaged crackers that he snacked on all day for quick energy boosts, and the sometimes frozen dinner when he was busy with his schedule and needed something fast and easy. After 6 weeks of following the fresh protocol without fail and staying consistent every step of the way, his blood pressure fell to 128/76, showing great progress and real results. He shared that for the first time in many years, he felt really in control and strong about his health once again. He had learned to check food labels more closely every time he shopped, to use better portion sizes in every meal for balance, and to make simple and useful swaps that matched his way of life without feeling like he was losing out on the things he enjoyed, keeping the joy in eating intact. The fourth step focuses on reducing refined carbohydrates and added sugars in a clever manner that fits your lifestyle perfectly and comfortably. You'll need to swap things like white bread, pastries, and sugary drinks for better choices such as whole grains, fresh berries, and beans that give more good nutrients and fiber for sustained benefits throughout the day. And when you include carbs in your meals, it's smart to combine them with some protein or fiber to slow their entry into your blood and prevent those quick rises that affect your pressure negatively in the process. Research from Harvard found that just changing 2 servings of refined carbs for whole grain ones each day led to an average drop of 6 mmHg in systolic blood pressure over 12 weeks, showing how effective small changes can be when done consistently and with care over time. It's very key to keep in mind that this fresh protocol is meant to support your doctor's care, not replace it at all in any way whatsoever. You should never quit any of your prescribed medications unless you've discussed it with your doctor first and received their okay after thinking it through carefully and thoroughly. If you have other health issues like kidney problems, heart issues, or diabetes, it's extra important to talk to your doctor before any major shifts in your sodium or fluid intake to stay safe and healthy at all times. Always aim for slow progress instead of trying to fix everything at once in a hurry, which can be overwhelming and lead to setbacks. This helps you avoid getting worn out and raises the odds that these new ways will stay with you for good and feel normal over time, integrating smoothly into your life. Begin by focusing on just one change at a time to grow your progress steadily and build confidence step by step as you go. Managing stress is another vital part that people sometimes forget in the busy pace of things, but it matters greatly for your overall health. Spending just 5 minutes 2 times a day on deep breaths, light stretches, or a quick walk can bring down stress chemicals and lighten the load on your arteries in a real way that grows over time, providing relief and calm. Tracking your progress with a good home blood pressure device can offer you quick and useful info that makes you feel stronger and more in charge of your health every step of the way. It allows you to notice for yourself which changes are helping the most for your own body and make tweaks as needed based on what you see in the readings over the weeks. Handling social times or meals out at places like restaurants can be tricky when you're working on these shifts, but some smart planning can make a big difference and help you stay steady on your path without stress or worry. Try checking restaurant menus on the internet before you go if possible to choose well ahead of time and prepare your options. Request sauces or dressings to come on the side so you decide how much to use, controlling the amount with ease, and plan for lighter meals earlier so it all evens out without any worry or guilt, keeping balance in your day. Getting family or helpers involved in this path can give you more support and cheer when your drive is low and you need a boost to stay motivated through it all. And remember to include steady, moderate activity as a main part of your routine for overall benefits and strength. Activities like walking, yoga from a chair, or light weights can boost your blood flow, ease artery stiffness, and build up your heart strength over time with consistency and dedication. For lasting gains, it's the regular practice of your activity that matters more than how hard it is on any single day, focusing on routine and habit. These types of daily habits can make your medications work even better, creating a helpful match between what you eat, how you stay active, and the care from your health team for comprehensive support and results. It all starts from growing awareness one step at a time, doing steady work every day, and holding a calm commitment to the process that brings rewards in the end, transforming your approach to health completely. I'm Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video with more insights and tips. There, we'll look at even more useful and research-backed ideas to help you keep your heart and your body firm, well, and doing great for many years ahead, building on what we've covered in detail today. Remember, the journey to better blood pressure control is one that builds on these small, consistent efforts that compound nicely over time. Each day you choose to follow the fresh protocol, you're giving your body the support it needs to thrive naturally and effectively in every way. Think about how far you've come already just by tuning into this information today and taking it in fully. Your commitment to understanding these hidden factors is the first real step toward lasting change that lasts for the long haul. As we wrap up this session, take a deep breath and feel proud of the awareness you're building within yourself, step by step. Share your thoughts in the comments, connect with others on the same path, and let's keep supporting each other moving forward together as a community. Your health is worth every bit of this attention, and with the fresh protocol as your guide, brighter days are ahead for your heart and overall well-being, full of vitality and energy.